This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive away in a new ZDX. Only $459 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
The Sultan's choice for excitement and a caravan of savings awaits at Toyota of Hollywood. Your wish for savings has been granted with discounts of up to $4,500. Take a magic carpet ride in a Toyota Corolla, not $24,000, $19,988. Step into our grand bazaar where you'll find epic savings at the #1 volume Toyota dealer, Toyota of Hollywood, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Oh, Sam, not again.
Initiating Daddy's back.
Go! Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink. Be the maestro of your own home.
Price, service, selection. Get all this and more at South Florida's #1 loved Subaru store. Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Save today with our 3 ways to save. 0% financing, 0 down payment, or make no payments for 90 days. From Subaru of Pembroke Pines.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive away in a new ADX. Only $299 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Morning, boys and girls. Welcome aboard Time to rock and roll. It is a hump day. The markets, or at least Bitcoin, is a humming. We're in 92.5, flirting 93. Life is good. Hope you all are doing well. Dolphins have won 3 in a row. Had a great dinner last night, by the way. Took my daughter out. She turned 26. It's crazy. It's 26. Anyway, went to dinner last night. Went to an Italian place in South Beach, and it's called DiMaro's on 14th and Washington. All the pasta's homemade and all that kind of stuff. And the chef, the owner, Mauro, is out there like, greeting you and making sure everybody's doing their job. And it's a really good place, bro. Really good place. I had a really good meal. My daughter cooks for us constantly. I talk about it all the time. And she makes pasta fresh. She doesn't buy packaged pasta or anything. Never. She makes it from scratch. So she wanted to go to an Italian place. And so I had to do my research, make sure I found a place that they make the pasta from scratch. And I had a fruto di mare last night that was just absolutely awesome, dude. Awesome. So just in case, if you want to take out your wife or your girlfriend or whatever, or your husband, boyfriend, whatever, you want to surprise them and take them to a place where the meal is going to be exceptional and the service is going to be awesome, go for it. Okay, I'm telling you, DiMaro's is excellent. All right, you can enjoy that. Excellent meal there, man. So just in case. So I had a really good night last night. The Panthers didn't have a good night, unfortunately. They lost to the Maple Leafs 4-1. That was the only depressing part about last night. Cats, obviously, now the good news is that we're hearing that Tkachuk and Luostarinen are going to be, looks like they're going to be available here at the end of this month. So everything is going on target with Tkachuk, and it looks like you're going to be able to get Luostarinen towards the end of the month. Also, that's going to be 2 huge, injections for the Panthers. Hopefully, what we want to see is the Panthers get healthier as the season goes. What we don't want to see is that you add, but you're also losing somebody else or something. So hopefully they get to the point where, the Barkov thing, we don't know what's going to happen, at the end. I'm going to say, because he's a tough sumbitch, I think he's going to be available in the playoffs. But they've got to get to the playoffs, and they've got to, all they got to do is kind of sneak in. In hockey, home ice means absolutely nothing. That's the beauty of hockey. The Panthers won all their series on the road last year. That's all you need to know. They were the road team the entire way in the playoffs last year, and they won the cup. So, but that's nothing new. The Panthers didn't do anything new here. That's old in hockey. That's the one sport, football and basketball and baseball. There's a home court. There's a home field. There's an edge in those things. Okay. Baseball diamonds, baseball fields are different. They're different shapes. So outfielders have to run and handle things completely different from one to another. So when you're home, I'll give you an example. Like the Yankees, their minor league team in Tampa has the exact same dimensions as what you find with the Bronx. So you're playing in the minors and you're playing with the same dimensions all over. Obviously, the outside structure is a little different, but the field is exactly the same dimension. So that allows you to have that kind of home field all the way throughout that the visiting team is not ever going to have. But in hockey, dude, doesn't matter. Does not matter. Just does not matter. And so they just got to get in. And hopefully they'll get healthier. And I know it's hard to kind of stay positive through this. Like, it's easy to figure out what the Dolphins are, but these guys are made of steel, man. These guys are character guys. So it's just a thing that they've got to try to get to. What they have to do is just stay within striking distance. They cannot fall behind. They need to start winning just a couple games here, to stay a little bit above 500, get a couple extra. The other thing that's hurt the Panthers, they don't have a lot of ties. It's crazy. They don't have a lot of ties. They have one tie so far. They're 12-1, man. First 25 games this season, you have one tie. Now, let me see, just for the hell of it. I didn't even look at the rest of the league, but I from just following hockey my whole life, and at this point, I can't imagine there's a lot of teams with one tie at this point. It's got to be very few. I'm pulling up the standings now, but there's no way. Let me see. Where are we at here? Okay, so the Panthers are the only one in Atlantic with one. Actually, the Boston has 0. In the Metropolitan, only one team has one, the Devils. See what I'm saying? It's hard, dude. Everybody else has got 2, 3, 4, 5. In the Western Conference, you have one team with 0 in the Jets, and in the Ducks with 1. It's just everybody else. It's 6, it's 5, it's 3, it's 7. It's crazy. It's insane. So it sucks, but the ties kind of help you pick up a point here, point there, and instead of a loss. And so that's also kind of hurt the Panthers too. They need to sneak in a couple of ties too along the way, unfortunately. So they got to get healthier. They got to stay in the hunt, pick up some wins right now, because in the conference, where are they at? Let's see. They're kind of within striking distance, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's about 31 points, and they're 25. So yeah, they're about 6 points behind. So they're within striking distance, but they've got to, they got to start getting a win or two here. They got to eke something out here and there so they can get a few points. But they'll be fine. They'll be fine. I'm not worried or concerned or anything like that. I'm just hopeful that they stay healthy as they can right now, and then start adding. And then once that happens, then we start going the other way with wins and ties also. So let's hope so. All right. But hang in there. Thursday, they take on Nashville at 7:00, by the way, Amerant Bank Arena. But outside of that, my dinner was awesome. My mother-in-law had the lasagna. She loved it. My daughter and my wife had the lobster salmon ravioli, and they both loved it. I also had scallops as a appetizer. Good place, man. Good place. So there you go. That was the good and the bad last night for the Alzigari family. Unfortunately, Panthers, a rough one, but the dinner was absolutely superb. And so just in case, if you guys are looking for an Italian place, and you're here in Miami, South Florida, South Beach, all that, I will tell you this. I could never, now at this age, to live in South Beach, you have to be young. I mean, there is no way you could live in that place as a older and more settled person or family person or something. That definitely is, it's a different place. Even on a Tuesday night, it's a different place. Just taking a little drive after dinner, and it's a different place, man. There's no doubt about that. But anyway, so hope you all are doing well. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button. All right. It's very important you smash the hell out of the like button. You can also hit the notification bell, so that way you know when we are live. Manny Navarro will join us today, so we'll talk fresh off the decision from the polls.
I don't know. Was that bad? Was that bad news yesterday, or was that expected news? Like, it all depends, right? If you're a blind ass homer, you think that was bad news. If you're a person that lives in reality, like I normally do, it's what I expected. You know what I'm saying? So we'll talk about it. But anyway, so please smash the hell out of the like button. It's very, very important that you get the algorithms going. You can also make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation as always. All right. Let's see. What do we have? We got several things to talk about today. First of all, let's get into a little bit of what happened with the Canes and the poll. And personally, for me, I am not going to. Whoa! Interesting breaking news. Ohio State offensive coordinator and former Miami Dolphin 4th-round draft pick and wide receiver Brian Hartline is expected to become the next head coach at South Florida, according to multiple reports. Well. Wow. Brian Hartline, South Florida, he can recruit his ass off. That's for sure. So he's starting to make now the climb as a head coach. He's been receiver coach, A1 recruiter, now the offensive coordinator, and now he is headed to becoming the head coach in South Florida. I tell you what, if you're a Bulls fan, you should be pumped up about that. That's a pretty cool move for the Bulls. They got themselves one hell of a recruiter. Now, of course, it's a stepping stone job. The second he has success, once he proves that he can win at that level with that team, then somebody will snatch him up and all that. So, it is what it is. So Bulls fans out there, enjoy it while you can. Kind of like FAU getting the lane train. Enjoy it while you can. It's not like he's going to stay there forever. You're FAU, you're South Florida, know what you are. So, it is what it is. But so good move for Brian Hartline and good move for South Florida, at least for the next 3 to 4 years, because once he has success, then that'll change everything. But good move for South Florida. No doubt about that. Anyway, let's get back to the Canes. So they were left out of the playoffs. For me, I'm not surprised. Okay, and I've explained this over and over to you Homer fans, and the same. And I love the Canes too, dude. Just because I disagree with you, I'm a Canes hater. Listen, man, just grow the hell up already. You know what I'm saying? FSU, when they lost their quarterback, I got a guy on about 2 guys on Twitter yesterday about that, and I was like, dude, you guys were a shell of your team once you lost your quarterback. In fact, I'm trying to figure out, Sean, has FSU recovered since they lost their quarterback overall as a program? No, right? They like completely disappeared. And it was this is different than the Ole Miss situation. The players are still intact. The team that won is still intact. The system is intact. The good thing is also the Weiss guy is coming back, to coach the offense. So they have a fighting chance, and they should still be in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? They didn't lose their quarterback. They lost their head coach. Okay, they're going to lose some knowledge. They're going to lose experience. They're going to lose the best coach on the staff. Of course, I get that overall because he's the head coach. But for one game in college football, if your team's intact, you're good. So I didn't have a problem leaving FSU out when they lost their quarterback because I understand what the committee was thinking. As good as FSU was, unfortunately, without that QB, they weren't anything. And it proved that. Okay? And it's proven that ever since. That program's never even overcome. For the Canes, this is what you knuckleheads out there need to get through your fucking heads, okay? The ACC is another crappy conference. Now, you youngins out there, you didn't live the Big Least, so you don't know jack shit. You only know this. And so for you old heads out there, and that your Homer old heads out there, what you got to understand is the ACC is the Big East. It's another crappy conference. It's the Big Least. So if you're the Canes, don't lose any games in the conference. Why? There's no fucking respect for your conference. Your conference is dog shit. Understand that. The Big Least is dog shit. The ACC, another crappy conference, is dog shit. So when you lose to two teams in a dog shit conference, example, oh, Duke is in the finals. Well, guess what? In the shitty conference, they have the same 6-2 record as a bunch of other teams. So then how do you decipher yourself? There's only one. Virginia's 7-1. Everybody else, there's 5 teams that are 6. I think it's 5 teams, 6-2. Well, stop being part of the sewage, Canes. The Canes didn't lose in the Big Least. They would trash the Big Least, and then they would get tested by Oklahoma, Nebraska, Florida State, Florida, whatever outside top tier team. Excuse me. Whatever outside top tier team outside of the Big Least, that's how you were tested. Rewind and now forward. Okay? You're in the same scenario and you still don't understand. So while Notre Dame lost to a 10-2 highly ranked UM team, they also lost to a highly ranked Texas A&M team. And you fucking lost to Louisville and to SMU. Stop losing to the ACC, Mario and the boys. Know how to win that fucking Georgia Tech game and know how to kneel, asshole. So learn. Stop having the brain farts every single year. And then you're sitting here whining like a bunch of little bitches about your metrics and this and that. The eye test, the ugly eye test is the ACC. Nobody gives a shit about the ACC. Nobody respects the ACC. So when you lose to Louisville, it's a lot worse than losing to any team in the SEC or in the Big Ten. Whether you think it's right or wrong, those are the optics. And you people still don't get it. Why? Because you want to put on your little fucking pom-poms and you can't understand that. Nobody cares about your stupid conference. Stop losing games to scumbag teams in the ACC because that's what the ACC is. It's a scumbag conference. Just like the American, just like the Big 12 practically is too, just like the Mountain West, just like the rest of them. Nobody respects your conference. So don't lose games inside that shitty conference. It's pretty simple. That's all it is. So next year, run the table in the conference. Leave no doubt. But you left a huge doubt by losing to, not only did you lose to Louisville, you were embarrassed in Louisville. You were so outcoached in Louisville. It was disgusting. And it was on national television. It was on a Friday night, and you lost to a shitty team. Why? Because the other guy on the other sideline is a better coach than Mario Cristobal. Mario Cristobal just has way better resources and is a better recruiter. So he had better talent. So that's the only reason. But if that guy had the same resources and the same talent, deep down inside, answer the question, who's the better coach? Give me a break. It's not even close, bro. It's not even up for discussion. Okay? You would take Jeff Brom in a heartbeat over Mario Cristobal, but he doesn't have the resources, and he kicked Mario and embarrassed his ass. He owned him, and everybody saw it. And this is what happens when you lose games in a shitty conference. And that's what you people have to understand. Your conference sucks. This isn't basketball we're talking about. We're talking football. Nobody gives a shit about the ACC. The world revolves around the SEC and the Big Ten. That's it. Everybody else is just trying to get scraps. So, if you're going to be on the periphery, like the Canes are, because you're in that conference, dude, stop leaving anything in doubt. Run the table. Because that's the way they look at the top-tier teams, that if they were in that shitty conference, they would run the table. So that's what the Canes used to do in the Big East. This is why you rarely ever win the ACC. This is why you're never in the ACC championship game. This is why since you've been in the ACC, you've been a massive disappointment in a bad conference. In a terrible conference, you've been a massive disappointment. Stop being a massive disappointment in a terrible conference. That's what I would tell Canes fans. That's what I would tell Mario Cristobal. That's what I would tell the administration. That's what I would tell the players. Stop screwing it up. Beat down everybody in the ACC. Mario Cristobal has more resources than Jimmy Johnson, than Howard Schnellenberger, than Dennis Erickson, than all of those guys, and throw in Manny Diaz and Butch Davis and everybody combined. He has the amount of money they never had. He has the coaching staff they never had because he can buy as many coaches as he wants. He's got the facilities they never had. He's got an NIL package they never had. So where's the excuses? Why are you not dominating a shitty conference already in your fourth year? Why are you losing to Louisville on a Friday night when you know, or you should know, or you should be smart enough? Apparently some of you out there aren't smart enough, to figure it out. Your conference ain't shit. Nobody cares about your conference. You cannot lose to Louisville because the third place team in the SEC or the Big Ten will be highly more respected, or fourth place team or fifth place team, than Miami by losing one game in that damn conference. You go and lose two in that conference, they just look at you side-eyed and they go, yeah, these are the same fools that couldn't beat Georgia Tech a couple years ago because they don't know the damn rules. So this is the way it goes. And every year there's something that Mario screws up. And now you want to whine and make excuses for Mario and the boys. Sorry, not doing it. I know how they think. I know what you have to do. I've seen it before. The beauty of it sucks being old because your body falls apart and you're getting closer to the end. But the beauty of being old also is the knowledge, the experience that you've gone through. And I've gone through all of this already. And it's called the Big East. And it's the same shit, different day. Leave nothing to doubt. Okay? If Clemson or FSU happen to be elite, that's your game to win or lose. Outside of that, and by the way, do it early. Don't do it late. It's just kind of the way it goes. Outside of that, don't drop ever another game in the ACC. Don't. Sorry. You're losing to Virginia. You're losing to Georgia Tech. You're going to lose to Louisville. You're going to lose to SMU. No, Papa. No. So if you're going to lose those games, be prepared to be left out of the playoffs again and again and again. That's your lesson, dude. But that's an old lesson, and I'm tired of this shit. Problem is, some of you, you weren't even sperm when it happened last time. You weren't even a thought in your mom or dad's eyes and mind at all. You weren't even around. So you didn't live it. We're in the same thing, dude. Same thing. Stop taking the ACC serious. It's a joke of a conference in football. Run the table, especially with the resources you have. You had a Heisman Trophy quarterback last year, and you were a joke. You ruined a Heisman Trophy quarterback. It just reminds me of, ruining that guy's career. Put up a bunch of stats, didn't win anything significant. That's what it reminds me of. You had a Heisman Trophy candidate at quarterback. You got a damn good team this year, and you lost to Louisville? You shouldn't even lost to SMU. But, okay, you're human. One loss this year, fine. Next year, bro, you got to run the table. You're in your 5th year already. You should be so loaded. There's no excuses for you to lose to anybody in the ACC. Nobody. First couple of years, this year you didn't have an excuse anymore, and look what you did. So you know what you look like? You look like that guy with his brains splattered right all over when Montana says, no, not getting no kiss, no women, no kiss. Look at you now, and his brains are splattered right there. That's what you look like. Stop doing it. Stop doing what you keep doing to yourself, and then the rest of the pollsters will have no choice, because that's how the Canes did it before. They left you no choice. They trashed the Big East, and then they went and laughed at Oklahoma or Nebraska or whoever it was that was in the top 25 at that moment. Or opening night, you go to Florida State and win 31-0. That's how you do it. When you get back to doing stuff like that, talk to me. And then you'll see and you'll get the respect that you're seeking. You want to go and lose to Louisville, they're going to keep laughing at you. And they're going to keep leaving you out. They're going to go, yeah, they're pretty good, but no more buts. No more buts. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation, of course. We appreciate it. You can make your comments, questions, insults, all kinds of good stuff. By the way, our friends at Moody S Dental, they do excellent work. My entire family goes to Moody S Dental. They have 2 offices in Dade and Broward County. And in Dade, 305-821-0231. In Plantation, 954-692-6825. Family owned, family run. That's why my entire family goes there too, because it's dad and 2 sons running it all. And when it comes to the Moody S family, folks, telling you, you want to get that smile back, you need Invisaligns, dental implants, preventive care, cosmetic surgery. Follow them on Instagram. You can see some of their work. You can see some of the deals that they have going on at moodys.dental. All right. Oh, man. Sean, 30 seconds to clear my throat, sir.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
All right. Toyota of Hollywood will be there the second Wednesday of the month, and that'll be the 10th. A week from today, we'll be at Toyota of Hollywood hanging out with Herbie and the boys. I know Herbie's happy that that Bitcoin is up. I see the Jaybird in the house, number one on the chat board. And let's see, give UM a victory cigar for a strong win last night, off to a 7-2 start after Jai Lucas. I did not follow, but you know what, Sean? Give them a victory cigar. I don't really follow college basketball till later. I'm sorry. I lived the 80s and the 90s. You did too, Jay. It's just hard for me, It's more towards the tournament just to see how the boys do and all that. But I cringe watching college basketball today. I just cringe, Once you've seen Patrick Ewing and Michael Jordan and David Robinson and you watch Vegas and Duke go at it for 2 straight years and Phi Slamma Jamma and you see Chris Corciani and the boys and you watch like NBA talent play for 3-4 years in college basketball and you have like real superstars. I can't. I'm spoiled. What I saw in college, what you saw, Jay, in college basketball. Speaking of the Big East, okay, just like the ACC, isn't it? Aren't we living the same shit all over again? The Big East in football. Who gave a shit about the Big East in football? The Big East in basketball. Oh, baby. That was like mini NBA, bitch. Okay? Mini NBA with the coaches in the damn Big East and the teams and the players. ACC cares about your football league. Your basketball league, yeah, it's still, one of the best. It's interesting how it's time moves on, but a lot of the stuff stays the same. Anyway. Jeff in Long Island, Dolphin Dave, Aquavision, John Padilla checking in San Francisco, Brian Raque, Walter Olivares, Gus 1388, Lisa Rose, Ray Varnicus, Frankie Fresco. The Canes got what they deserve. Mario has no one else to blame but himself. But see, Frankie comes from a place of hate. I come from a place of objectivity. Skylar Tipton, Brian Landis, Magnus, Karoon. Let's see, a former Dolphin joining my alma mater. Cool. Okay. Jamie Zoria in San Jose, reminding everybody to hit that like button. Thank you, sir. You are a stud. Think Blue Dodgers is smashing it, and he is lighting up the strawberry cough from L.A. Sounds tasty. Ty in the Bronx. Oscar Rojas is in Melbourne. NorCal is a puffin also. We got a lot of puffers here on the show. Lenny Pena is out there. He says, as a UM fan, we got what we deserve. No playoffs. No playoffs for you. He had to do it in the soup Nazi form. No playoffs for you. Jeff in Long Island says, I was number 31 hitting the like button. Ollie Gordon, smash it, everybody. There you go. I like it. We're at 38. Let's go. Let's pick it up. Let's pick it up. Let's pick it up. Let's get to the 100 mark as always. Let's see. Campos, Big O found a great Dolphin memory. Week 17, Chad Pennington, BS Brett Favre, 2008 fall term. I was a senior in high school. Yeah. We got lucky that we got Pennington for a little bit there, and was able to enjoy a little success. That was nice. Scott is up in Anchorage, Alaska. I just look at you people up there in Alaska, and I say, you are some tough bitches. Okay? Because, like, I don't know how you live up there. You know what I'm saying? Lisa sends me pictures of the torturous winters that she has up there, and I'm like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? What are you doing? For me, I'm trying to go closer to the equator, get really warm all the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm good with that. I want to go be at a place where I have to wear just a shirt every day, never a jacket. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of beaches. You know, that's the end game. There has to be an end game. You know, and much cheaper too, also to live. That's really the key, by the way. Let's see. What else do we have? Brian says, do you like Snoop and Puff? There we go. I'm into Snoop, but Puffy, what Puffy we're talking about? The one with non-oil is the Puffy that like NorCal, you know. That's what we're talking about. Those are the ones we're talking about. Think Blue Dodgers. We like the Puffy minus the oil, you know. That Puffy oil stuff, that's somewhere else over there, you know. Frankie Fresco on a Wednesday has an AEW Dynamite super chat. He says Pac or Kazuchika Okada. Did I pronounce it right there? Kazuchika? No?
Kazuchika Okada.
Kazusuke. Holy shit. All right, Kazusuke. Kazusuke Okada. You know, just because it's just so hard to pronounce, and you know, as a guy that's done radio for 36 years, I've done announcing, boxing announcing, I've done play-by-play, I've done all the stuff, color, you name it, boxing stuff, everything. I appreciate easy names. You know, Smith is really good with me, and Garcia, you know, or Lee. You know, it's just I can roll with that, but you know, this guy, you know, and we're not going to call him the Big O because, you know, enough already. There's enough of us already. So I got to go with the Pac-Man. I figure he's like me, dips in Bitcoin. Did you buy at 80, 82? Now that we're 92, 93, you're already winning. And when you get to 100, you're going to be winning more. And when you get to 110 and 120 and 140, oh, you're going to go, wow, I bought that dip. So I'm going to go with the Pac-Man. Okay. Plus, love Miss Pac-Man. I enjoyed Pac-Man, but Miss Pac-Man was my favorite out of the two, if we're being honest here. I thought Miss Pac-Man was the better machine. So I am going to go with the Pac-Man over this guy that, you know, just makes it hard for all of us as announcers. So I'm going to go against the anti-announcer guy, and I'm going to go with the Pac-Man. Okay. So there you go. The Pac-Man. What do you think, Sean? Oh, my God. I got a thumbs down on the Pac-Man. That's it.
Which means you'll probably be right.
Well, these predictions are unpredictable. And, I kind of try to keep it that way. So I'm going to go with the Pac-Man. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. Last night, the Maple Leafs, they beat the Panthers 4-1. So it drops the Panthers to 12-12-1. Thursday, they will take on Nashville at 7 o'clock. Tonight, the Heat are back in action. They look to bitch slap the Mavs on the road. Miami is 14-7. The Mavs are 7-15. Miami's favored by 5. The over and under is 240.5. 140 alone will come from the Heat. So the Mavs only have to score 100. Not betting advice or anything. I'm just having fun with that. The Heat minus 200 on the money line, and the Mavs are plus 165. There you go. Saturday at 2:30, the MLS Cup Final. It's here, and Inter Miami and the boys have made it. They will take on Vancouver at Chess Stadium, and Inter Miami is minus 145 on the money line. Vancouver plus 300. Tickets are still available. Fort Lauderdale United are off this week. Next week, they restart the season, and they will start it on the road at Sporting Club Jacksonville. You can catch the game on Peacock and on Channel 10. Sophie Harding, we talked to the forward of the Fort Lauderdale United yesterday. That interview will be dropping at sometime today. Sean, yes, no, maybe? You tell us.
It's already up. It dropped at 8 this morning.
It's already up. There you go. That's why you got to hit the notification bell so you can find out. Check it out. Great interview, by the way. Talk about all kinds of stuff. Really good. Really good. She's cool. Thursday night, football. Tomorrow night, the Cowboys are taking on the Lions. And the Lions are favored by 3 at home. The over and under is 54. Cowboys are plus 140 on the money line. The Lions are minus 170. Lions, by the way, are 7-5 on the season. And the Cowboys, man, they have gone through a stretch that I would have never imagined that they would have, come out winning. They're 6-5-1, and they are on the rise. News that you just saw, South Florida is reportedly going to hire Brian Hartline as their new head coach. The former wide receiver of your Miami Dolphins will be the head coach of South Florida. And the Miami Dolphins will hit the road this week. They will take on the Jets. We will have the pregame show for you at 11:30. Dolphins are favored by 2.5. The Jets. The over and under is 40.5. The Jets are minus 150 on the money line. The Dolphins are plus 125. This is one that I would stay away. And I wonder what the wise guy is going to have for us on Friday after going 3-0. Something tells me he's not going to pick the Dolphins minus 2.5. This is a game that I would not touch with a 10-foot pole the way the Dolphins have played the last 2 weeks. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. If you need custom printing and embroidery, call my guy, Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443. All right. So, from the I told you so department, we talked about this at the beginning of the year after watching a couple of games. I told you right away that Cam Scatterboo will not last in this league, and neither will Jackson Dart. And so far, proven right on both. Not that both are out. Scatterbo is now out for the year because, the way he plays, eventually something was going to happen. And Jackson Dart's already been checked for several concussions and suffered a concussion and just got back. And this week took an absolutely brutal hit that it was all his fault. It was super legal. There was nothing to argue about there. This is football. You're a quarterback. You have a choice to slide, and you have a choice to run out of bounds. And when you do that, you rarely ever get touched. I mean, it is rare. And when it happens, they're going to tack on 15 and it's going to get ugly and whatever. In the cases where you think you want to stay inbound because you're trying to get every inch you can, you know how we used to do to Ted Ginn? And now we all look like morons? When we used to tell Ted Ginn, no, stay inbound, get that extra yard or two. And that sumbitch played 12 years in the league. And he would have never played 12 years in the league if he took our advice. So, Jackson Dart, as I said several weeks ago, this kid's career is not going to last long. You cannot play like this in this league. I've watched bigger players get broken down. Dude, Tim Tebow ended a season with a punctured lung and broken rib. And that guy was thick as a mofo, okay? Thick as a mofo. And they busted that dude in half, okay? And Jackson Dart does not even have the body of Tim Tebow. I'm not comparing talents. I'm comparing armor. That's all I'm comparing, armor, okay? Cam Newton got worn down, but it took several years. But Cam Newton's a freak physically, you know, and that's the only way he could play. And so I'm wondering, and you know my theory on all of this. If you've watched this show long enough, you know I'm not a fan of quarterbacks that must run in order to be effective. And it seems to me that Jackson Dart does not have the confidence in his abilities to make a living from the pocket. That's what I love about Jaden Daniels. He can run, but he can stay in the pocket all he wants, and he doesn't have to run, okay? His team isn't as good, so I know he tries to do more, and he shouldn't, but he doesn't have to. Pat Mahomes can run, but he only runs because he has no choice at that moment, and he's trying to keep something alive. Outside of that, he'll be more than glad to make a living from the pocket. Those are my kind of quarterbacks. The ones that can run, but they have to be able to make a living in the pocket. I'm not a fan of Josh Allen. Never have been, never will be a fan of Josh Allen. Why? Because he has to run in order to make a living. Lamar Jackson, never been a fan. Why? Because he can't make a living from the pocket. He has to run. He has to run. And so if you have to run, then you're going to take hits. And then look what's happened. You know, and it makes it that much harder. Jalen Hurts has better armor. Okay? So I'm not a big Jalen Hurts fan, but if you have a offensive line, a defensive line, and the best running back in the business, like they did last year, and great weapons that whenever he throws, he's throwing to, you know, a monster receiver, and he's throwing to a fast receiver, and he's got tight ends, as always. So he's got all the things that make his life easy, but he has to run in order to be effective. But they built it perfect around him where they only needed him to make a couple passes. But outside of that, the guys that have to make a living running, I'm not a fan. And Jackson Dart, after taking that brutal hit, was asked about that. And you want to hear ignorance? You want to hear the answer that you don't want to hear if you're a Giants, fan? Well, go ahead, Sean Stanley. Let's play Jackson Dart's reaction to people asking him about taking hits and taking that specific hit. We got some? I don't know. Is Sean frozen? Or is he? Okay. I don't hear the Jackson Dart. I don't hear the sound at all.
You didn't hear the sound?
No, I don't hear any sound. Did you guys hear this? Did you guys hear the sound? I didn't hear anything. Did you guys hear the sound on the chat board there? Give me a response because I did not hear anything. Well, that's not an answer. No sound. Okay, that's what I thought. Right, and I don't think Blue Dodgers is smoking a fat one, but you know, I don't know, we're having technical difficulties here. Crickets. By the way, let me give you the market while Sean figures out the Jackson Dart sound here. Let me see. Pull it up now. Let me make sure it refreshes because it's got it plus 185 at the moment. But, it's never really what it is when I first pull it up. It always needs to get refreshed. Plus 183 is what it is. And the S&P is up almost 10 points. And the NASDAQ is barely down. Sean, you got the sound? I think Sean and Think Blue Dodgers and NorCal were hanging out before the show. You know what I mean? Okay. So he thought he had the sound ready. He was hearing the sound, but we're not hearing the sound. Isn't that kind of selfish on Sean's behalf? He saved all the sound for himself and not for us. Oh, well, don't you guys hear it? That kind of stuff. Right? Oh, Lordy. The sound of silence. There we go. A little Simon and Garfunkel. I like it. Or damn it, what's my boy with the earring, with the nose ring and all that? The rock band. They do a great version of it. Oh God. I can't believe I'm forgetting him. I'm forgetting them. Somebody help me. Oh, Jesus. Disturbed. Thank you, Brian. Disturbed. Shit. That version of it. Oh, there he is. All right. Jackson Dart. Hopefully he doesn't throw farts. Go ahead. Sounds like a perspective. Jackson just asking you about the hits and taking them, protecting yourself and things like that. Is there
No. Look, I understand the question. But this is football. I'm going to get hit if I'm in the pocket or outside the pocket. I feel like I've played this way my whole entire life. There shouldn't be any shocker to anybody if you've followed along with my career. And we're not playing soccer out here. You're going to get hit. Things happen. It's just part of the game.
Part of the game. Part of the game is not going out of bounds and avoiding a ridiculous hit that you don't need to take at all. There's zero reason for you to take that hit. There's no, and it reminds you of Tua. Oh, well, man, I'm going to play to the death and I've got to, whatever, like he used to say. He used to talk about it. He used to play like that. And it got him in trouble. And maybe that's why he is where he's at now, because of making all those bad decisions instead of sliding and running out of bounds and not taking stupid hits. Now, when he's about to get sacked, he gives right into the sack, and it's what he should have done from the get-go. So if you're yesterday, or the day before, some guy on Twitter was like, well, at least the Giants solved their quarterback problem. I go, really? You think that? First of all, I'm not sure he's good enough because he's telling me I have to run. It's part of my game because I'm not a good enough quarterback to stay in the pocket and win from the pocket. And ladies and gentlemen, and we're headed in that direction, but unless you got a mobile quarterback that can live in the pocket, that's the only combination that's worth it. If not, give me a statue. I'm fine with a statue. Just build the right offensive line and all that other stuff that you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? If you're going to have a Matt Stafford, if you're going to have a Brady, if you're going to have a Tua, build a real line in front of them so they don't touch them, because you know Tom Brady or Peyton Manning or Drew Brees cannot move. So you must block for them. And in those teams, they did that. We're stupid. We're a dumb franchise. We do stupid things. We do stupid things with Marino. We do stupid things with Tua. We just do stupid things. We're a stupid franchise. We've been a stupid franchise for decades. But in normal franchises, once they understand their talent, then they surround them like Sean McVay does, that he has a statue. He doesn't care that he has a statue because the statue can make the passes. So let me build everything else and win at the line of scrimmages. And that's what he does. And that's what normal and smart offensive coordinators, most of the guys that the guy Shanahan coaches on the West Coast, they're not runners either. But he gets the most out of them because he gets the blocking, he gets the running game going, he gets the tight end involved, he gets all the things that you need, physical receivers, all of that. Whether you're going to get a Deebo Samuel, you're going to get a Puka Nacua or whatever, you're going to add an element to their game that makes that quarterback better. So you're going to add a Gronk and you're going to add an Aaron Hernandez. These are the things that you have to do in order for those kind of players to have better success. We're just stupid people here. So we don't understand that, so we don't do things the right way here. We got Marino. Yeah, we'll give him a running game and give him an offensive line and dominant D, and he'll do the rest. Oh, we failed in all three. Okay, great. Oh, you've got Tua. Build an offensive line. Give you exactly what you saw in Alabama. You've got to do the same thing. Build a line. Give them a tight end. Give them a running game. And then the rest will be taken care of. Nope, didn't do that. You know, it's kind of the way it goes here. It's been like that forever. You know, can't do anything about it. But you look at Jackson Dart, and he's telling me and telling you and telling Giants fans that I cannot make a living from the pocket. I need to run in order to be successful. My friends, that tells me you have no future with Jackson Dart. So if I'm the Giants, I wasted my time. I believe they even traded up, didn't they? I'm not exactly sure, but I think they might have even made a move to trade up to get in that spot or whatever they did, or drafting him. They wasted the draft pick because his days are numbered. He wants to play like that. He doesn't have the body to survive very long with that. Okay. That's my thoughts on Jackson Dart. Anthony Kyle Campos, Big O, this is the year you finally see Bad Santa. Great laugh. Can I fix you some sandwiches? Okay. What do you got, Sean? But I'll try to watch it. I do have to watch it one day, Anthony. You've been at me for a couple years on it. Yes.
They traded 34th and 99 along with a third-round pick in the 2026 draft.
Whoa. I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
They traded their 34, 99 in the third-round pick in this draft coming up 2026.
To move up to get Jackson Dart.
Move up to get Dart. Yep, to move up to 25.
To get this bonehead. He's dead in the water, bro. He's dead in the water. You cannot play like this in the NFL. You cannot. So, and that press conference showed me right there, and that soundbite that we played for you showed me right there. He doesn't get it, bro. He doesn't get it. So, it is what it is. All right, let's talk a little Canes. Hour number 2. The Canes. For me, it was the expected. For some of you out there, I don't know. I guess you looked at it as the unexpected. But we'll talk about the polls and more with the one and only Manny Navarro and our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. If you're a Miami sports fan, there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Caneswear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro, exclusively on a Big O radio show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
All right. Did something. I turned off my Eiffel Tower there. I got to fix that. Anyway, good morning, sir. Last night, the committee put out their poll, and the Canes are outside looking in. And before you came on, the good thing is about being old is that a lot of things repeat. Mm-hmm. And this is my explanation, my basic explanation. Young people didn't live it. Us older people did. The ACC is the Big East. It's another crappy conference. It's the Big Least is what I used to call it back then. And the old Canes used to run roughshod through that conference, left no doubt whatsoever, and they were tested by Oklahoma or maybe FSU that year or Nebraska or whoever was big, Michigan, whatever it was. There was always a game or two outside of that crappy schedule that's where they were tested, and they had to lose early in some of those or whatever, or if they lost late, it hurt them and that kind of stuff, as you lived it. And what I'm trying to explain to the newer fans and maybe some of the older fans that forgot is, brother, nothing's changed. The ACC is the Big Least. Mm-hmm. Don't do this. Stop losing games. Run the table in that conference so you leave no doubt. Because when they look at Notre Dame losing to a Miami and losing to Texas A&M, and then they look at Miami who lost to SMU and then lost to a shitty Louisville, it's like, yo, what do we have here? What do we do? And so that's where I think the Canes have to understand there is no respect for your conference. So until you run the table there, they're not going to, unless Clemson or FSU is one of the elite teams in the country also. That's the one game that the people can accept you either winning or losing. But outside of that, dude, don't lose to anyone else in the ACC. That should be what you should be thinking of. So that way you leave no doubt at the end of the year.
Yeah, it's the unfortunate hand that they were dealt, because I think when Miami made the move to the ACC, they did it for all the right reasons. I mean, the college football was in a different space at that time, and Greg Sankey and the SEC and the Big Ten hadn't sort of formed this evil partnership where they were going to just take over the sport, right, and take over the college football playoff once it expanded to 12 teams. So I think Miami administration did all the things with the right intentions, but unfortunately, the ACC has become another crappy conference because of the way the SEC and Big Ten have taken over the sport. So they're victims, unfortunately, but you're right. I mean, that's the state of the game right now. There is still a belief that the SEC and Big Ten are far superior conferences, when in reality, they're really not. If you look at the results, okay, you go to the end of the season results. Louisville, who lost a bunch of games, beat the living crap out of Kentucky, who took Texas to overtime. You look at South Carolina, who almost beat Texas A&M and at Texas A&M, and Clemson beats them by two touchdowns. A bad Clemson team who lost 5 games. So to me, NIL and the transfer portal have completely changed the game. And what's happened is, unfortunately, the rest of college football hasn't caught up. And because the SEC and Big Ten have a stranglehold on the playoff system, it's really more important what patch you're wearing, what conference patch you're wearing on your jersey than what you actually do on the field. So Miami, without question, deserves to make the college football playoff. They are, without question, one of the 12 best teams, probably one of the top 8 best teams in college football. But unfortunately, that's not the systems that's in place. It's a system that's unfair because college football has not evolved to accept the fact that the SEC and Big Ten are not superior conferences. They just have a few good teams that help carry that weight. And when the NFL draft comes around, they kind of, well, look at all the draft picks we got. We have to be the best. Well, no, it's not what it was before. When Nick Saban was around and they were dominating college football, Alabama was dominating college football, you could certainly make that argument. But it's not until recently either that Ohio State and Michigan have started to win championships. They were always losing to SEC teams. So to me, there's this false narrative out there that those conferences are elite. The people running the playoff are from those conferences, and they buy all the bullshit and they sell it. And that's what ESPN is doing, and that's what Fox is doing because they have the biggest TV contracts. And so it's unfortunate for Miami. You're right. They have to go undefeated or one loss. And I said that prior to the season. They don't do that. Even if they beat Notre Dame, they're probably going to be in trouble.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. And listen, the way they look at that Clemson South Carolina game, that's a rivalry game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the way they look at it. And in college, there could be an outlier in anything. And that's kind of the way they look at it, that you're not a good conference, but you can have your moment. Any team can have a moment. And that's why I'm saying the Louisville loss is the one that really stings you.
Yeah, because you're at home. Your quarterback throws 4 interceptions, including one at the end of the game when you were in position to kick a field goal and send it to overtime. So they had it in their hands and they gave it away, quite literally.
Yeah, to me, you get by with the SMU loss. But once you lost to Louisville, that's when it opened it up and said, well, are these guys going to be frauds when we get them in and they're going to perform like they did against Louisville and all that? That's why, to me, you're in this position, leave no doubt anymore. So next year, they got to run the table in the ACC.
Yeah, and listen, if you look at the schedule for next year, and I already did a breakdown on my podcast, the Wide Right podcast. Their non-conference schedule. They've got Notre Dame November 7th. I guess that was announced that game is going to be played early in November, which is better for the resume, especially if they're undefeated in ACC play. And you're thinking, oh, they're ranked 7th or 8th. Why aren't they ranked higher, right? I mean, they got Central Michigan, FAMU, and they're going to add a 9th ACC game because, as the commissioner for the ACC announced earlier this year, there are going to be some teams that play 9 games next year and some teams that don't. Ultimately, what they want is 10 Power 4 games. And, Miami was supposed to play, I think, South Carolina next year. South Carolina backed out because of the SEC going to 9 games. So, there will be an extra ACC opponent, I'm pretty sure, added to the schedule here because, who else is available at this point? Everybody's locked into not having 9 conference games. So
what are the ACC tough opponents in there?
Well, they have Clemson on the road, right? And you got to figure that Dabo Swinney, I mean, at some point somebody's going to put a gun to his head and said, you got to use the transfer portal, bro. Like you can't keep operating this way and going 7-5 and thinking high school recruits are going to do it for you. Obviously Florida State was a disaster this year, so I can't even necessarily say that the Seminoles are going to be a tough game when you look at the way Miami knocked them out. It's a very, very easy schedule, in my opinion. I mean, outside of Notre Dame, who is going to have their quarterback back and have a bunch of their dudes back, as they always do, because they recruit the hell out of the country. I mean, it's not. I mean, you get Pittsburgh at home, you get Virginia Tech at home. You got to go on the road to play North Carolina. I still don't think Bill Belichick's going to have his shit together by then. You got to go to Stanford. You get Wake Forest, who, look, that guy's done a good job in year 1, but they're not going to have the size and weight on the offensive and defensive lines that Miami does.
On the schedule?
They don't have Virginia on the schedule now. And when I was trying to break down who might be available, I think Virginia was an option. But I haven't looked back at Virginia's schedule to see if they're going to become, if they're still looking for a game, if they've already been paired up with somebody else.
They should beat Florida State, and they should beat Clemson, dude. I'm sorry.
I mean, there's no reason they shouldn't be undefeated next year if they get the right quarterback in the portal and they get they fill in a couple of holes here and there. But yes, I know they're losing Ruben Bain and Maui Noah and a bunch of the offensive linemen, but I mean, Mario's been recruiting the number one class in the ACC 4 years running. Like there shouldn't be any question about what they have on the roster, and they're going to spend money in the portal again. So I don't see a scenario here where there's an excuse for Miami. I really don't. I think, the ACC is there, very much there for the taking. Virginia spent a boatload of money in the portal. Congratulations to them for a terrific season, but that's not going to last every single year. Or you think Virginia is all of a sudden going to become some sort of national power like Indiana or something? I mean, so I just think, it's not a very difficult schedule. It's a very winnable schedule.
Okay. All right. If they don't make the playoffs, what bowl game are they talking about right now? What's the word on the street?
Yeah, I mean, look, they've obviously been to the Pop-Tarts Bowl quite a bit here the last few years. I think the more likely scenario is that they end up at the Gator Bowl. They get a chance to match up with an SEC team there, like a Vanderbilt, like a Texas, somebody who is right there on the playoff bubble like they are. And then, they get to showcase that game. Every year they rotate kind of where the best ACC team goes because they don't want to always just send it to the Pop-Tarts Bowl, especially if it's the same team. So I can see a scenario where they go to Jacksonville this year.
Okay. All right. Jacksonville. Any other what did you think about the Brian Hartline news to South Florida?
Yeah, interesting move for Hartline. I think, a lot of people assumed that he'd be getting a Power 4 job, but, this is the next best thing because nobody spends money among the G5s like USF. And Golish, I think, did a really good job there to elevate himself. He's obviously at Auburn now, so this could be the same type of thing for Hartline. He loves coming to Florida, living here, and, what can you do at Ohio State? You've already built a machine there, dude. Like at some point, if you want to become a head coach, you got to make the jump. And I think this is sort of the perfect soft landing pad because he could suck his first 2 years and nobody's going to yell at him. They're going to just say, hey, we're going to spend more money and try to help you because that administration, that's what they do. They support their head coach and they want the best guys there. And he's going to be able to get guys to go to USF for sure. He'll be able to convince playmakers to go there and to have success there.
His thing is just to build the staff. Get the staff, and then
he needs to pair up with a defensive guy.
Yeah, and then have success is what he has to have, so he can take that next step and get because obviously it's a stepping stone job. You know what I mean? USF, like I said there earlier, USF fans shouldn't think like, oh, we got our long-term guy. Unfortunately, this is a stepping stone job. That's
right.
what USF has turned into. It is.
I will say, I think of all the G5 schools, and you got to remember, UCF made the jump right to the Big 12. So it's not impossible to think that when the next round of conference realignment comes around in 2029, that USF, which has all the academic credentials that Miami does, by the way, they're one of those special AAU schools. They're in a Tampa market, a major city in Florida. I don't see how they stay in the American Conference. I would assume somebody, if there's going to be conference expansion and realignment, somebody would come get USF to be the next P4. So maybe that turns into a P4 job while he's there. Maybe he's long gone before that happens. I don't know. I just know that, Golish was there, I think, 3-4 years tops. And, you kind of invest your time, you have a great year, and then you bounce. And that's just the way those jobs are right now.
What happens in Ole Miss now? Because I think they aren't going to sign the guy to a contract or something. What's going on there?
With Pete Golding, it's my understanding he's supposed to take over. Now, I have not heard anything else to the contrary. My understanding was he was going to be the successor, and that's what they told him, and that's what they told the players right after Lane Kiffin decided to depart. So Golding's a guy who's been a really good defensive coordinator. He was at Alabama before. And had success there. And to me, he's a guy that sort of it's what is Ole Miss going to do at this point? Who else are they going to go out and get? Right. This is a guy who can actually keep the players that are there, especially on the defensive side, and convince them to stick around and win with them. And we'll see what kind of offseason they have and who takes over as offensive coordinator, because obviously Lane's going to take a few of those guys with him to LSU, but Ole Miss isn't in a bad spot. Lane Kiffin actually did a good job sort of changing the narrative around Ole Miss. I mean, four double-digit win seasons in 5 years is pretty damn good.
Check this out. Ole Miss canceled the Pete Golding introductory press conference, and then the head put out, after reconsidering tomorrow's activities, I have decided to shift the focus back to where it belongs. The team, our players, have not received the notoriety they deserve for the remarkable accomplishments this season. They have given their all to Ole Miss, and I want to see the spotlight placed on them, and the mission is in front of us. The time is not about my start as head coach. It's about finishing the season story with a playoff run, and we look forward to discussing the next step in the journey following Sunday's selection announcement. So it was really more about, we don't need to talk about this now. We can do that later, which by the way, is pretty cool on his part.
Yeah, I think as long as the players know and the school, like, you don't need to do this now, right? I mean, they want to focus on the playoffs. They got a couple weeks to prepare for that. I think as long as everybody knows he's going to be the dude, you don't have to go through the whole ceremony.
And I think it's cool that Weiss is going to coach the playoffs, and then then he'll join
LSU.
I actually didn't have a problem. I understand why they booted Lane, but I'm Ole Miss, bro. I would have left Lane there because you have a better chance at having a deep playoff run. I know he's going to try to take your players and coaches and all that. That's going to happen anyway, dude. It's going to happen either way. It doesn't really matter.
I mean, Goldish is doing that to USF right now. He's taking them all to Auburn. I mean, it's inevitable that the players follow the coach. I mean, James Franklin is taking I don't know how many Penn State guys to Virginia.
Right. So let him coach, because you might have the greatest run of Ole Miss history. And if you have that, then you've created that. And now the next coach knows that you can create that kind of a winning atmosphere, and it makes it even better for you as an organization. Because I looked at it before Lane: 7-6, 8-5, 9-4, 10-3, 5-7, 3-9, 9-4, 9-4, 4-8, 2-10, 10-3, 4-7, 3-8, 4-8, 3-9, 8-4, 8-5, 7-4, 7-6. This is what you're going back to, bro.
Yeah.
This is what you're going back to before the Lane train. Okay. And you snuck in a 10-win season here or there, but it's 10-3. It's not like, you went out there and, absolutely killed it. So to me, I would have kept everything and understand that he's leaving. You got to understand you're Ole Miss, dude. No matter how much money you have and all that other stuff, you're still Ole Miss.
I think the problem is just that LSU is one of their biggest rivals, and that's for the athletic director, like for him to say, hey, I gotta stomach this.
Yeah.
Pride is what
saying, oh, we gave you all this, F him, and all that. So what are you going to do with the people also that are giving you the money too? You know what I mean? So I get it, but in the big picture, you might have been better just keeping him there just for the historical purposes of Ole Miss's program, just so you can have the best possible run that you could ever have. Plus, it kind of shows that you're pretty forgiving, or in a way that maybe the next coach comes in and says, hey, man, this is a place that maybe I'm making my home. You know what I mean? Instead of a stepping stone.
Oh, before we finished, I wanted to ask you, just, do you think there's any chance? I mean, this committee has been batshit crazy, right? With what they've been saying on TV and how they're moving teams up and down, the way that they moved Alabama up past Notre Dame in these last rankings. Do you think there's any chance that if Miami and Notre Dame are side by side, they flip them because Miami won the head?
Zero.
Okay.
Zero. It's Notre Dame, bro. They got a network. They got a fan base. It's Notre Dame. That's why I told you we're in the same Big East problem, bro.
Right.
Stop losing games in this conference. Stop losing games in this conference. And you cannot lose these games because you're not going to get the respect. And the Canes knew that back in the day in the Big East. And they never left anything to doubt. And so I know how this game is played. And I know Miami's going to be outside looking in. So, yeah, it's like I'm listening to Colin Cowherd. Where was it that we were at Hialeah and it was on television. And he was talking about how the U should be in instead of Notre Dame and this and that. And so I turn to Sean and I go, so if Cowher's not tied to Fox and he's tied to NBC, is he still with the same opinion? And Sean goes, no. And I go, exactly. This is the game we're playing, dude. You know what I mean? So
Right.
the reason Cowher's doing that, it's because it's popular to play the opposite right now and play with people's feelings on that and then piss off the Dame Nation and get the Hurricane side all lit up. But if he was on NBC, the phony would be saying, well, you know, Notre Dame is tradition and they're
Well,
the
that's
better team looking right now than, you know, whatever.
I feel sorry for the general public, because they don't understand that. They get so in their feelings about it all, and they don't realize these guys are playing for certain networks, certain conferences, and you know, their opinions are totally shaped on that.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so it is what it is. All right, what do you got going on in the Athletic, my friend, so folks can check you out?
Well, today is signing day, so I'll be watching everything, and I'm sure you and I will have another discussion on recruiting at some point this week. But
Friday, big cheese, baby.
So Miami's doing well, and I'm following all the flips. You know, there still is a lot of movement. These guys commit early, but I was doing the research last night. I think there's over 400 guys who have flipped commitments since September across college football. So that NIL money, you know, plays a factor. All the coaching changes play a factor. So I'm monitoring that all day. There'll be a ton of coverage.
Who's the QB, Manny?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, it could very well be this kid from Arizona State once he jumps in to the portal. It could be somebody we don't even know yet that hasn't jumped into the portal. I think I think there's a lot of interesting situations across college football. And if you think about the Miami situation and how they ended up getting Cam Ward and how they ended up getting Carson Beck, they basically got Cam Ward because of Maui Noah, right? Maui Noah was here, the linebacker, and his brother was here and are coming here, and they played at Washington State. The older brother did, and knew Cam from that connection, so they funneled it that way. And then Carson Beck, obviously, you had the Cavender twins. So I don't know who they're going to go out and get. I don't think the quarterback pool of transfers is necessarily sexy. The Mestamaker kid who's a redshirt freshman at North Texas, he's done a phenomenal job, could get them into the playoff this year. He's going to probably follow his coach, Eric Morris, to Oklahoma State. So somebody will emerge, and Miami will pay him a lot of money to come in and be the quarterback.
All right. I'm looking forward to it. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. And better yet, catch his work there at The Athletic, because you get Manny's work and everybody else. And you get everything on college football, NFL, NBA, football, soccer. You can get all of that there at The Athletic. Manny, as always, my brother, thank you, sir. We will catch up on Friday when we get that recruiting report.
All right, brother. Take care.
You got it. Manny_Navarro. Visit our friends, Brett and all the great people out there, Ken Graff, Jeff, Jack, just awesome people out there. They know how to get it done. The service is impeccable, okay? Everybody will take care of you there. They've got anything and everything with the Canes logo on it. They've got Inter Miami gear. They've got Miami Dolphins gear. They got Miami Heat gear. They got Florida Panthers championship gear. Get on down there, man. 2655 South University Drive. And you can use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off whether you go in person or online. Use our code BIG010. And remember, when you order over $99, you will get free shipping. Caneswear.com.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
All right. Oh, man. Thank you all. Hope you are enjoying your Wednesday. See, is there anything new? Sean, please keep up with Twitter right now, Dolphin Twitter, because Mr. Oz, and All Rights is at the podium. See if there's any news on the injured guys, which I doubt they're coming back. But there you go. Boys are back getting on the field and getting ready for the New York Jets. A game that will be ugly, I'm sure. Just I hope they win. That's all I can say. I hope they win, man. I really do. By the way, last night, the Warriors, they lost to OKC 124-111. Jimmy Butler played a whole 15 minutes, 6 points on 2 of 7 shooting, 3 rebounds and 1 assist. Thursday, they're at the 76ers. Just, going to monitor this situation to see if it starts to go awry, because I kind of expect that to eventually go awry. Lane Kiffin has made his move to LSU, and Lane was talking about an accident he almost had. And Eli Manning, former Ole Miss player, had a very funny tweet that he put out there. And so, Sean, if you can, let's bring up the tweet. Much faster than the sound, by the way, folks. Here we go. All right. Now we're getting billboards out of the way. So it says Lane Kiffin's introductory press conference at LSU. Oh, wait a minute. I guess I don't get to see the whole thing, so I'm going to have to pull it up myself here. Here we go. It says Lane Kiffin's introductory press conference at LSU included a claim that an Ole Miss fan tried to run him off the road on the way to the airport. So Eli Manning retweets that and puts, oops. Oh, that is great. That's just fantastic, dude. That is just perfect. That was good. Nice job by Eli Manning. You got to love that. You got to have a sense of humor in life, dude. If you don't have a sense of humor in life, you are absolutely dead in the water, because there's a lot of crap that goes on in life, and you need to laugh about it, man. You need to laugh about it. But there you go. That's there's the whole tweet. That is beautiful. Oh, man. I love that. Great job by Eli, and a good laugh. By the way, prayers to the Campbell family. Eldon Campbell, former Clemson player, and then played on several teams in the NBA, including the Lakers and the Pistons. Passed away at the age of 57 years old, man. Way too young, man. Way too young. Clippers, by the way, are parting ways with Chris Paul. It's about time. Chris Paul was a guy that was done several years ago. He's kind of been stealing money lately. So not really. I watched that team the other night when the Heat trashed them. And what a wow. Like, who would put together that team? That is absolutely crazy. And in more basketball news, Zion Williamson is now out for an extended period of time. He'll be reevaluated in 3 weeks. Sean, I think, just fell off his chair because he's shocked that Zion Williamson is out and has an injury. I mean, that never happens. Talk about a guy that did absolutely nothing for all the money that he earned. I mean, he has stolen a ton of cash. Impressive, dude. Absolutely impressive. Got to give him credit, I got to say. Let me get to a little music. before I get to some Dolphins talk. Where are we at? Here we are. Let's start off with musicians born on December 3rd. Montel Jordan, This Is How We Do It, born in 1968. Okay? And remember, whenever you run into Omar Kelly, make sure you tell him, dude, I know your favorite song is This Is How We Do It from Montel Jordan. Okay? Make sure whenever you run into him, send him the video on social media, all of that. He loves that shit. He loves that song. Favorite song. Dwayne Rowland, born in 1952, baby, guitarist with Molly Hatchet. We were beating the odds. We were beating the odds. In 52, also Dwayne Barnes, vocalist and founding member of 38 Special. Born in 1952. Let's see who else celebrating birthdays today. Kimberly Rue from Katrina and the Waves. I'm walking on sunshine. Oh, yeah. Born in 51. Mickey Thomas with Jefferson Starship and Starship. Born in 1949. Also Elvin Bishop, too, of course. I fooled around and fell in love. Ozzy Osbourne was born on this date. 1948. Rest in peace. Vic Malcolm, guitarist with the British rock band Geordie. You know who was the lead singer of Geordie for a time? Brian Johnson of AC/DC. So Vic Malcolm, born in 46. Let's see who else. Andy Williams, for you old timers out there, born in 1928. Singer, TV host of the Andy Williams Show. What is it though? I forgot how it goes, but I remember there was a bunch of whistling in that song. All right, let's go with other famous people celebrating birthdays today on December 3rd. Remember, if I don't give you an age, that means they are no longer with us, unfortunately. Motorsports Hall of Fame member Bobby Allison, born in 1937. Motorsports Hall of Fame member Rick Mears, born in 51. He is 74. Actress Daryl Hannah, born in 60. She is 65. Actress Julianne Moore, born in 60. She's 65. Hall of Fame figure skating member and super fine Katarina Witt, born in 65. She is 60. She was gorgeous, dude. Gorgeous. Actress Brendan Fraser, born in 68. He's 57. Actress Holly Marie Combs. She was always my favorite of Charmed. Wasn't the hottest one, but she was always my favorite. Cute, but just I love her too, you know, in that show. Holly Marie Combs, born in 73. She's 52. Actress Tiffany Haddish, born in 79. She's 46. Actress Jenna Dewan, born in 80. She is 45. Actress Amanda Seyfried, born in 85. She is 40. Musician Little Baby, born in 94. He is 31. Sean Stanley, do you have wrestlers born on this date? No, 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 and no. He's having problems.
Wolfgang is 39. Super Crazy is 52. Sansone is 32. Ricky Choshu turns 74. Mirai is 26. Alex Coughlin turns 32. And the before mentioned WWE Hall of Famer Ozzy Osbourne was born on this date in 1948. Those are your birthdays for December 3rd, 2025.
You don't get him, bro. No.
No, we get them all. We get them all.
No. That's part of our heavy metal clan here. No.
We got Snoop. We got Ozzy. We get them all.
That's not heavy metal. Well, we'll give you Snoop. We're not giving you Ozzy. We're not giving you Ozzy. No. We're not giving you Ozzy. No.
He's their official theme for War Games.
You're borrowing the music, but we're not giving you Ozzy. All right, let's go with music history now. What happened today in music history? You're always wondering, like, today, will O tell us what happened in music history? Well, of course I will. I'll tell you about some things. Can't tell you everything because I'd be here for hours. First, in 1966, the year I was born, Ray Charles was given a 5-year suspended prison sentence and a $10,000 fine after being convicted of possessing heroin and marijuana. In 1969, the Rolling Stones recorded the song that they will not do anymore live, Brown Sugar, at Muscle Shoals Studio in Alabama. The single went on to be the UK and US's number one. We're such a soft society now, so PC. He can't do Brown Sugar. What's it called? Pat Benatar isn't doing Hell is for Children. Please, bro. Can you people grow up? In 1988, Carole King and Jerry Goffin received a Lifetime Achievement Award from the U.S. National Academy of Songwriters. In 1994, on this date, Adam Sandler performed the Hanukkah song on the Weekend Update segment of Saturday Night Live, enlightening viewers to the fact that Harrison Ford, Paul Newman, and David Lee Roth are all Jewish. He released it as a single the following year. The song reached number 10 in the U.S. and remains a seasonal favorite to this day. It is a great song. In 1999, the great, the one and only, the magnificent Bono, U2 singer, had his missing laptop computer returned to him after losing it. A young man who had bought it for 300 euros discovered he had the missing laptop, which contained tracks from the forthcoming U2 album. How about that? Give that kid concert tickets to U2 for life in his city. Life. Whenever we come to town, kid, you get front row. That's what I would have done. Let's see. What else do we have? In 2015, Scott Weiland died at the age of 48. He was found in cardiac arrest on his tour bus in Bloomington, Minnesota, just before he was scheduled to go on stage with his band, the Wild Bouts. He was 48 years old. Weiland was best known as the lead singer of Stone Temple Pilots from 86 to 2014, as well as Velvet Revolver from 03 to 08. In 2015, Crosby, Stills, Nash, which formed in 68, imploded at the White House National Christmas Tree Lighting Concert when Stephen Stills threw a pick at David Crosby for talking over him. They got through a performance of Silent Night, but never played together again. All right, let me see if there's any birthdays that weren't on the other list that are worth mentioning. Oh, Mike Stock. He's the writer for Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up. And Bananarama, Kylie Minogue, Donna Summers, Paul McCartney, and many others. Mike Stock is 74. That dude wrote for Rick Astley, Bananarama, Kylie Minogue, Donna Summers, and Paul McCartney. That dude's a badass. Wow. Okay. Let's see who else. Anybody. Joe Laley of Fugazi is 62. Trina is 47 today. And Andy Grammer is 42. None of those were on that list. There you go. That's what happened today in music history. How about that? All right. Yes, sir.
A couple things. The Browns have designated Deshaun Watson to return to practice. And on the Mike McDaniel front, he was asked about the Tua slide on 3rd and 4. He said McDaniel said Tua told him he was trying to dive forward and not slide. McDaniel told him he has to keep the ball over the waist and not leave it in the officials' hands because the officials perceived what he was doing as half slide and marked the ball as they're told where the QB initiated the slide.
Well, oh well. The new Tua is like, oh well, I'll try to be better the next time, guys. I'll try to be better, The nonchalant Tua now is the guy we have now. The guy just doesn't really give a shit. So it is what it is. Once they get Neighbors and Scat back and get another wide receiver in the draft, he won't have to run as much. He was running with those guys. What are you talking about? He won't learn. But James, if you want to go ahead and try to reason with that, you can go ahead. Jay also says, can you imagine if the Dolphins had a QB that could run, how good their running game would be? I don't know. If he can't pass, doesn't really matter. And I'm sorry, do you think the Dolphins are like a player away or something? Come on, dude. They need a front office, they need a head coach. They need a lot of things, dude. Electrundo says, dude, the difference in loudness between the show and the commercials is too drastic. My speakers really don't appreciate it. Sorry, bro. We're not a podcast. We're a live show every day on YouTube is what we are. We're not a podcast. It gets podcasted, but we're not a podcast. So live is what it is, man. Got to take the good and the bad. So appreciate it if you hang in there. Let's see what else. Dolphin roster's not that bad. Could be good within 2 years. They will have salary cap shape in next 2 years about the draft. Yeah. We'll see in 2 years. Big O, do you think Inter Miami can get the... Yes, dude. Once they got past Cincinnati, I have no more worries. None. Yes. Yeah, since I that's the game I thought they were going to lose. And the benching of Suarez and all that, I talked about it, that changed the complexion of the entire team. With Allende and Silvetti at the top with Messi, you have the athleticism and the speed, and you have willing defenders also that will help you out because those guys are young and they'll pitch in. So, yeah, you have too many old guys on the pitch. And the Suarez one was killing you, actually. You were getting by, but you weren't at your best. Now you're at your best. So I really like what I'm seeing right now from Inter. They should win. They have no business losing. I mean, they had no business losing last year, and look what happened. But the change definitely really helped them. And again, Cincinnati was the one that I was super worried about. Super worried about because they were the better team. And they kicked their ass with this lineup. And this is not the lineup that Cincinnati dominated this year. So, or last year, I think Cincinnati also was way better than Miami too. I think that's how it was. That's why once I got Cincinnati, I wasn't worried about NYCFC, and I'm not worried about Vancouver, bro. I'm not. Unless they go in and have a bad game, they're off or whatever. That's the only way they lose this game, if they're off. But I don't think so. I think we're going to get a team that's gonna ball. Yep. So what else do we have? Texas would be a terrific game, assuming the starters all play. If head-to-head doesn't matter, then why just keep the cupcakes? Don't lose to the cupcakes. Okay? That's what happens. Does Notre Dame have a loss to a cupcake? Thanks for playing. So, don't lose to cupcakes. Andy Williams is the most wonderful time of the year song. Yes, it is. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Let's see. Pat in Nashville says, and that laptop had all the work up to that point for All That You Can Leave Behind. And what a great album that is. God, I love that album. I heard that whole album on the way to Spain and back. Love that freaking album. So good. Let's see. He didn't play with neighbors. He was already hurt, Big O, and the Giants need more physical players around Dart to help. It's his game. Did you not hear him in the soundbite? Like, he even tells you, have you not watched my career? This is who I am. Cannot be, bro. You're James, you're not listening and watching. Okay? You're not listening and watching. And that's the problem. Maybe you're a little bit of a Giants fan there or something. By the way, Will Manso, did you see that, Sean? He had tickets to this weekend's game. He went with his wife to that wife deserves like a trip to Paris, a trip to Hawaii, a trip to Rome, a trip to I don't know, Fiji Islands. I'm talking about all of those trips. Like Giselle should get all those trips for enduring that one game. Like, he must have bought those tickets at the beginning of the year, super excited about the Giants and all that. And then, I give him credit because he's a Giants fan through and through, and he's there. I think I retweeted back to him, you should lend Jackson Dart your brain because he certainly doesn't have one. That's what Jackson Dart should do. He should go on the Wizard of Oz and visit the wizard and ask for a brain. He needs a brain. He doesn't have one. But I'm telling you, Giselle Espinales needs to hold out for lots of vacations now from Will Manso. Seriously. Yeah, this is no way, bro. No way. You get that trade-off has got to be huge. You drug her to a terrible football game with a terrible team in the cold. Oh, that's cruel and unusual punishment for your spouse. You're supposed to go with a buddy. Don't even torture her. Thing is, Giselle is like a real sportswoman. That's why. She's a real deal. There are some women out there that do this job and, I'm covering the game, and they just give you like a little pose. And sure, they look like models and all that stuff, but they bring no substance to it. Giselle knows her shit. She worked with me at QAM. So I already know she's the real deal. No fluff there. She's actually covering. She's a real reporter. She brings substance. But I got to fight for Giselle here. Giselle, you need, telling you, Rome, Hawaii, Paris, Fiji Islands. You gotta get all of this now for Will dragging your ass out to that thing. Oh man, that guy owes you big time. Big time. Husbands aren't supposed to torture their wives that way. Not to that. I went on a weekend to Tampa and all that. I didn't torture my wife bringing her inside to the Metallica concert. No. You treat her everything else. You don't torture the woman. Take her to a frozen Giants game that is a 2-11 team or something. That is terrible. That's torturous. I'm telling you. She has a lot of trips coming her way. Definitely. Giselle, I expect to see you in Dubai. Rome, Dubai. I'm telling you. Just ask for it all. That's it. Let's see. True Fin Fan says, I have no respect for Canes fans crying. We lost to two nobodies back to back. We don't deserve it. Yeah, that's what happens. Stop losing to scrubs, and you'll, don't leave it in doubt, bro. That's all. Jeff in Long Island says, how long before Man Campbell is fired and some Dolphins want him? Tell you what, message has been sent to Stephen Ross. Some of you haven't gotten the message. I've been trying to now relay that message. And now you have former players like James Harrison and now Big Ben, out of all people. Not that I really am big on going after his credibility because he has none. But even former players are saying Mike Tomlin's got to go. Look at what he did this year. Look what he's done lately, bro. Look at the teams, the quarterbacks. He has final say on roster, final say in the draft. You don't draft somebody unless he approves it. He has final say. And they are constantly mediocre, and they just barely get into the playoffs when they do, and they get spanked. Okay? They do get into playoffs, but they get spanked and get sent home. Mike Tomlin is a great soundbite. Now, the scary part is this is the kind of guy that Stephen Ross would hire because he's going to go off the name. He's going to go off the history, which if you really look at it lately, it looks like a guy that's lost it and a guy that doesn't really know what to do. And he's never won with his own players. He won with players from the prior regime when he took over. And since then, he has never been able to rebuild a championship caliber type team. And as that culture waned from Cowher and it became a full Tomlin culture, well, you can just check it out and look what's gone on. And look at all the head cases. And not only do you bring Aaron Rodgers and all the stupid trades you made this year, which we got the better end of the Minka trade. They got the worst end of it. And then on top of all of that, you got rid of George Pickens for nothing. And he is one of the 5 most explosive and impactful offensive players in the league right now. And you couldn't create an environment for him. What does that say about you as a coach? And now you're seeing former players coming out going, yeah, dude, it's time. It's time to make a change. And I don't really need to hear from Harrison or Ben Roethlisberger. I just need to know now what I know, because I didn't know about Tomlin not having the personnel final say. And if he has that, then he's part of the reason why you have this situation with Pittsburgh. I don't want it here. I'd rather go get somebody young and untested than a guy that already is tested that he can't get it done anymore. And that his offense and his style of football is antiquated. And he doesn't adjust to what's gone on now. As I'm going to use the old line and make it a new line on Mike Tomlin. When he was here and he interviewed, they said, Huizenga and the boys put it down there that he was too hip-hop. Well, now he's not hip-hop enough. Because he ain't hip enough. That's for sure. He does not adjust. He does not change with the times. And George Pickens is proof that he does not change with the times. His quarterbacks over the years now proves that he inherited Roethlisberger. Could never get another quarterback again. You got to stay away from Mike Tomlin. I don't know how many times I got to say it, but Stephen Ross, you need to stay away from Mike Tomlin because he's going to become available. And when he does, don't ever think that that's the panacea. That's the cure. That's the guy that's going to get you back over the hump and get you to respectability. Just go look at what's been going on with the Steelers. There's nothing to respect there. Anyway. If Miami brings in Tomlin, I'm walking away just like I did after the Dolphins chose Dante Culpepper over Drew Brees. Only this time it will be indefinitely. Yeah, well, the Dolphins are getting to that point where they're starting to just absolutely turn a lot of people off. I get it. It's game over, says as a Canes fan, you won't see me complaining about not squeezing into the last playoff spot, which so many teams shouldn't have lost to scrubs. You know what I love about your statement? Dude, I love your thinking, bro. Do you know why? I love the fact that you were saying, as a Canes fan, you won't see me complaining about not squeezing into the last playoff spot. I fucking love you, bro. Because that's also what I'm talking about. Your Mario Cristobal, your NIL matches anybody in the country. Anyone, dude. You can buy anyone. You have every resource possible. You had a Heisman Trophy candidate last year. You have a hell of a team. And you're fighting for the last playoff spot? Why are you fighting for the last playoff spot? Because you lost to two scrubs. So I'm not here to bail you out, Mario. I can't, dude. I love the Canes. But I understand the situation you're in, and you apparently don't. And a lot of your fans don't. This guy does. This guy does. So a couple of you have shown me that you get it. You can sit there and act bitter, but that's exactly it. With everything that Mario has, he should have one of the top spots. He should be the number one seed in the ACC championship game. And he should be heavily favored in the ACC championship game. And the committee should be going, oh, no, yeah, Miami, no doubt, is one of the 4 or 5 best teams in the country. And why aren't we saying that? Because of Mario Cristobal. Because he's not a difference maker as a coach. He's just a recruiter. I told you guys this in the last 2 years about Mario Cristobal. Mario Cristobal is not the guy that elevates a team. Mario Cristobal needs the talent to elevate him. So he's going to win if he has the most talented team possible and that they can overcome mistakes and all. But he's not the guy that's going to overachieve and make his team better than what it is. He doesn't have that ability. That's not who he is. You never, ever sit there and go, wow, Mario Cristobal really outcoached their opponent. Nobody, like I've told you this the last couple of years, everybody says, what? Mario, great man. No doubt. Great character. No doubt. Great work ethic. No doubt. Great recruiter. No doubt. No one ever, ever says Mario Cristobal, like Eric Spoelstra, great coach. Nobody ever says that. Everybody says he outworks you. Everybody says he's a super character guy. Everybody will tell you he's a father figure. Everybody will tell you he's going to out-recruit your ass. Everybody will tell you he'll out-drink you in Cuban coffee. All of those things. Nobody, absolutely nobody has ever said, Mario Cristobal, great coach, bro. Guy does shit on X's and O's that just is amazing, is out coaching people. Nobody ever says that about Mario Cristobal. So it's game over. I love it, brother. With everything that the University of Miami has right now, everything they've provided their coach, we shouldn't be talking about you trying to sneak in for one of the last playoff spots. We shouldn't. We shouldn't. We should be talking about you being undefeated right now in the ACC championship game, favored by 10 points over Virginia, and there's no doubt that you're going to kick Virginia's ass, and we're just waiting for the playoffs to start. That's how we're supposed to be with the University of Miami. The old Canes, you know, the ones that used to win titles, you know those guys? Some of you don't, some of you do. Those Canes teams would have run the table, and we would have done exactly what I told you. They would have been 12-0, I'm sorry, and they would have been sitting there waiting to go 13-0 with the ACC championship game. And we would have been already thinking about who we're playing for the playoffs, not the players, but us in the media, because we should be laughing at the ACC championship game. That's what It's Game Over is saying to you. And he is 1,000% right. And that's where I have no sympathy for Mario Cristobal. Zero. Dude, you do this to yourself every year since you've been here. You do things that leave us scratching our heads, and we ask ourselves, why? Every year since you've been here, losing to really shitty teams, struggling with shitty teams, and then now losing to conference teams you have no business losing to. This happens every year. Last year you had a Heisman Trophy quarterback, and bro, you couldn't get your defense fixed. I'm tired of it, bro. I'm tired of it. I don't have time for this. So next year, Mario, you either go undefeated or shut the hell up, dude. That's it. You should have the talent to go undefeated next year. Do not lose a game in the conference, and pretty much out of conference too, because your schedule is not that difficult. Outside of Notre Dame, don't lose another game. There's no games that you should lose. So put yourself in position so the committee has zero doubt. But all you ever do is put yourself in doubt. And that's the problem. That's what's happening. 92,379 right now. So it is holding strong, as they say. I like it. I like it. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation. And we appreciate it as always. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What else? Should have beaten those teams by 20. Yeah. That's what should have happened. All right, folks. We thank the great Manny Navarro. We thank the amazing, the fantastic Sean Stanley. As always, we appreciate all of you out there for tuning in. Those of you that hit the like button, thank you. Get us over 100. Please, before you go, smash the hell out of the like button. If you send in a donation during the show or post or whatever, thank you as always. And we'll send our thanks always too. We shall see you tomorrow morning again. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.